Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, the official YouTube channel of Wuthering Waves just dropped Augusta character showcase, the one that we have been waiting for. Alongside that, her signature weapons, full stats, and description have also been reviewed. So in today's video, I'll be breaking down her weapon in details and answering the big question, should you pull for it? We will cover weapons men and substats, weapon skill, why is it good for Augusta, alternatives, and finally, is it worth pulling? No further ado, let's get into it. Augusta's signature, Thunderflare Damalion. It comes with 675 base attack and 12.1% crit rate. Now, 12.1 may sound a little bit underwhelming, but there's a reason for that, which we'll get into later. The key here is that 675 base attack is actually the highest among all weapons right now. And that's not even the only reason why this weapon is so good. Increased attack by 12%, casting an intro or resonance skill increases heavy attack damage by 20% for 15 seconds. When obtaining a shield, heavy attack damage ignores 7.2% of target's defense for 7 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Can trigger once every half seconds. So the first part is nice, but it's not that crazy. Just 12% attack and 20% heavy attack damage. For comparison, Jiyan's signature gives up to 48% heavy attack damage, along with 12% attribute damage. The real kicker is the second part, defense ignore. Each stack ignores 7.2% up to 5 stacks. So that is 36% defense ignore in total. That's the big deal. So how good is this weapon on Augusta? One of her inherent skills gives her a small shield every 0.5 seconds, exactly matching the weapon's trigger condition. That means she can consistently stack the defense ignore up to the max 36%. No auto resonator can achieve this within 7-second window. Autos would only benefit from one stack, 7.2%. And it doesn't stop there. Version 2.6 also introduced 2 new echo sets, and one of which is Ground of Valor. This set grants 6% attack and 4% crit damage for 4 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. That's 30% attack and 20% crit damage in total. And yes, it also triggers every half second. Perfect synergy. This means your 4-cost echo slot can safely run crit rate as the main stat. And the weapon plus echo set together are basically solely made for Augusta. Now, let's address that low 12% crit rate. Is it really bad? Let's sum up how much crit rate she has in total. Her base crit rate is 5%, from her skill tree 8%, from her weapon 12.1%, from the 4-cost echo 22%, from 5 substats, even at the lowest 6.3 each, plus 31.5%, that's a total of 78.6% crit rate, which is actually higher than the standard 70%. So even with the unluckiest echo rolls, she's still sitting comfortably. For people who have Shorekeeper, it can get up to 91.1%. That's a bit too high for lowest crit rate substat, ain't it? Now you may say, Danny, her crit damage is so low. What's the point of having all that crit rate? Well, let's assume in the worst case, all 5 crit damage substats are at 12.6%. That's about 213% crit damage. If you're luckier, say averaging 15% each, that's 225%. Add the Ground of Valor's 20% and you are at 245 crit damage. Yes, that's still below the usual 270%, but here's the thing. You are trading some crit damage for 30% attack from the Ground of Valor and 36% defense ignore from her signature. With her already massive base attack, this trade-off makes sense. If she also had 270% crit damage on top of that, she would definitely power creep everyone. So in short, the slightly lower crit damage is intentional balance. The synergy between her skill, her weapon, and Ground of Valor is what makes Augusta so strong. Because Augusta scales off heavy attack damage, the very first candidate is, of course, our General Jiyan's signature. His signature gives 12% attribute damage and up to 48% heavy attack damage when you trigger both intro skill and liberation. On top of that, it provides 587 attack and 48.6% crit damage. Realistically, it's hard to find a non-signature weapon that fits Augusta this perfectly. The only drawback is that her crit rate drops by 12%, which makes it a bit of a gamble. since you are trading it for 48.6% more crit damage. Based on beta server numbers, here's the comparison. In a tower stage with no electro damage or heavy attack damage buffs, Augusta clears the floor 4 seconds faster with her signature compared to Jiyan's. Knowing the boss dies mid-liberation with Augusta's signature, and for Verdant Summit, it falls at the end of her liberation. 54 seconds versus 50 seconds, 8% in difference. One dies mid-liberation, one dies at the end of liberation, so I would say that's roughly a 10 to 15% performance gap. Not insignificant, but also not massive. Next up, we have Lupa's and Jinshi's signatures. Both perform almost identically, landing about 30 seconds slower than Augusta's signature. This makes sense, since Augusta can only benefit from their stat sticks and the generic 12% damage bonus. The resonance and liberation skill buffs on those weapons just don't synergize with her kit. Lustra's razor is acceptable. Liberation damage isn't that valuable on Augusta, and she doesn't need the extra ER either. The attack percentage stat is solid, but it creates an awkward situation where you end up with both low crit rate and low crit damage. You can run 4-4-1-1-1, crit rate, crit damage, and triple attack percentage, which eventually gives us too much attack percentage and lack electro damage. And as we know, the higher your base attack gets, the less value additional attack percentage provides. Finally, let's talk about the new 4-star Battle Pass weapon. It gives 412 attack and 40.5% crit damage, with a skill that boosts attack by 7.2% and grants 10.8% heavy attack damage for 15 seconds. On paper, it looks almost tailor-made for Augusta, very good for a 4-star. The only downside? Yep, it's locked behind a paywall. If you have made it this far, I think you already know the answer. If you're already on Jiyan's signature, feel completely free to skip Augusta's weapon if you're low on resources. In that case, investing in Yuno might be the smarter move. A quick sneak peek for you guys. Yuno's outro gives 50% heavy attack damage, and her forte has a mechanic similar to Augusta's signature. If you can consistently generate shields, you will gain an extra 40% damage amplification. That's arguably worth more than the 10 to 15% upgrade from Jiyan's signature to Augusta's. The only thing to note is that we can't share Jiyan's weapon in Wuthering Waves if you're running both on both halves. For everyone else, I highly recommend pulling for Augusta's signature. I'm confidently saying that she'll remain relevant in the next 2 years. Source, trust me bro. Remember that Shopkeeper is also rerunning this patch. In case you are a new player, I definitely suggest getting all in this order: Augusta, Shopkeeper, then Augusta weapon. You will have plenty of resources, though yes, you also have to grind a lot. For players who have been with the game for a while now, but still do not have Shopkeeper, I believe you all have obtained quite a few auto resonators. Therefore, the decision really depends on your current team. Do you need Augusta Sigmore, or the crit rate crit damage that Shopkeeper provides? Drop a comment down below and I will help you answer your questions. I'll hop into my Discord server if you want detailed assist. Right now, the server only has 3 members: me, Sapphire, and my test account. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new today. I'll see you in the next videos.